Well, luckily enough for us, we were able to identify what was a bearish formation inside of an invalidation zone, this being a shoulder here, this being the head here, and this being the right hand shoulder, introducing a head and shoulders formation that usually leads towards a pretty valid downside, except that it was breaking one rule. It was breaking the rule of being formed during the downside, where typically speaking, that could be a bear trap. It could be an invalidation, and it could certainly send price action towards an upside. We actually titled yesterday's video this right down here. Take a look, guys. This is the video that we looked at, and that right there, right? It's called XRP. This typically supports an upside, right, guys? So now from here, this is where I was explaining it. Now, the bearish formation formed during, right? So formed during the downside. So listen for yourself, right? It's typically an invalidation. So there we go. So the formation was typically built during the downside, and it's typically an invalidation, right, guys? That's a downside, though. That is typically an invalidation. So yeah, that's you know, I hope that this can kind of work so that you guys can see how some of these how some of these things can work for the better for us. You know what I mean? It can absolutely help us understand what price action can do for the more immediate short term. Should there actually be short term like this? It felt like it was forever that we were landing down there, right, guys? But although we already have that analysis, guys, actually, let's move on. We're going to take a look at some of the signals that could lead for more capitulation, and I'm excited for this because we're about to share it with you right about now, guys. Please remember, team, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, and I am coming at you right now at 9:40 p.m. Pacific time, and this is in Tuesday, August 12th, guys. And yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here in the prior screen, or the next, or the parallel screen. Right? Check this out, guys. Remember the USDT asset, right, guys? This is a very bearish formation that we looked at. We spoke about the take profit target being this right down here, right? That one right there. And we are now double bottoming on that target that we called out from, like, where? Like up here at 450. And now we're at 4.11%. Now, every single target has been hitting pretty nicely, right, as we made this downside. Now, this is a broadening wedge, right, guys? The broadening wedge introduces a strategy, and that the take profit target is usually at the genesis of the formation. But this is not suggesting that we're done here. Please remember that we are also experiencing a larger formation here, which is within this triangle here, and that introduces a further downside, right, guys, which could lead towards maybe a 4% flat, and that could be an extremely bullish situation here for risk-on assets, specifically in the crypto space. All right, guys. So this is bearish because remember, right, USDT, the tether dominance here is what we're observing when people risk on their crypto assets. So this is something that you use as a means to purchase, right? So you exchange your $1 and they give you $1 USDT dollar, right, guys? So now when massive amount of people spend and they buy Bitcoin or XRP or XLM or whatever, that is exit liquidity from USDT, the tether coin, or the stable coin here, and that would be the liquidation of it, right? Downside, because people are exiting their USDT to purchase the asset. So now as people exit their asset and bring USDT back, well, Tether is likely going to go right back up, right? So this is what we're observing here. We noticed that there were massively bearish formations, buy formations, and that lead for further downside. Now, I got to point this out to you, though, right? Because we are yet again within another very bearish formation. And it is a possibility, right? It is a possibility that we could be in that what's called a dead cat bounce, right, guys? And that could introduce an even further downside. Not even that, is that we are also within a buy formation, right? So this shoulder here, right? This is a head, and this is now a shoulder. So now we're observing here the workings of what could be another head and shoulders formation. Now, I wouldn't doubt that this thing sure can come back up and we can come back down and in our risk assets and validate something here, but it's okay. Should it do it? fine. If it doesn't do it, fine, right? But I think, honestly, guys, we're looking pretty damn good here, and there still could be continuation towards that downside for this asset in particular, right? That this could be the regression, your neckline for the USDT, and this could be the target here. So simply take that trend line into the neckline here, right? Highest point of the head, and this will bring you to this target right down here. You apply it to the right-hand side of what could be the shoulder, and this would introduce to you a massive capitulation event to 3.69%, which is absolutely relevant to these lows down here, right, guys? And it is rhyming very, very nicely everywhere. And well, there's something else there, huh? Many of you kind of know this already, but that is the very large time frame head and shoulders formation in a macro scale, guys. So my goodness, if this drops, if this actually drops, guys, oh my goodness, man, that's going to be the biggest parabolic run we would ever see in our lives. The take profit target would be 1.36% USDT. So imagine the upsides that all of our favorite assets can experience during this massive event. So guys, there is a possibility here that we could be setting ourselves up for a massive, massive run soon enough. And again, remember I put out the video just a few days ago that it's over here. This is it, guys. The preparation video was put out, and a lot of you have been listening, and a lot of you have been a part of it. So now check this out. I'm excited to show you the next screen here. Okay, so this is XRP, right? This is I'm going to show you here what could be a multi-phase bullish breakout setup here, guys. Okay, so what we're observing now is the workings of not only your descending broadening wedge, right, which has the take profit target at the genesis of the formation, which again here it's at 334, 335-ish, right? Well, the head and shoulders that we invalidated, that neckline, right, the neckline like this, well, this is an outlier here, right, that we have to kind of omit that. So we take it from the next high here, or the most relevant high, to that neckline, and then that gives us a take profit target. Should we put it at the top of the right hand shoulder, and this is the bear side of it getting trapped, right? So that would signal a target that would be roughly around 333, rhyming very nicely with the 334, 335 of the top side of this formation here. Nice, we're getting rhymes. Okay, next formation that we are to observe here, guys, is that we are in the process of building another inverse head and shoulders here. Shorter time frame, it looks like we can actually even observe, right, guys? We have a shoulder here, we have a head here, a shoulder being built, and that is that is a formation that can lead towards a gigantic upside. I will say that it feels a little wonky, so I'm not going to validate it so much right now, not so much as this formation that we're about to see here. These are the workings here of a bull flag, right, guys? So that bull flag can lead for a massive upside as well. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take that measured move and kind of look at it like this, right? Apply it to the top side of your formation here, and this is taking you to a $3.41 valuation, which would be pretty relevant, right? As we do have lots of resistance in there. Okay, great. Okay, so if that is the case, then also please remember that that this on a downside is building a valid inverse head and shoulders, guys, and this has just a gigantic take profit target to the upside, and we can kind of observe that to be something like this here, right? Let's just go ahead and take that. Let's just go ahead and put the measured move here and determine what that could be, right? So this is the one that's going to take you to that magical $4.19 zone. Okay, very, very impressive times indeed, and very, very cool. So now for the final formation here on this strategy, it's the channel itself. So all you do here is this channel, right, with the green outline and the white inside. You simply take the width, right? You just with a trend line here, you take a width like this, and you apply this directly on top from wherever price action decides to break out, because this is a traditional bull flag. I would assume here that in around 6 hours from now, this could start maybe breaking out. Maybe let's see 6 hours to maybe 8 hours. So let's just say here, this breakout target would lead to around $3.48, which absolutely has relevance. So now the new resistance on top that I'm observing could be around this target right here, guys. So, I mean, this is all being fueled by a very, very positive CPI. The bets for a rate cut are now going out the roof, right? So this is pre-pricing rate cuts, okay, guys? So that means that when the rate cut actually happens, price action will likely decline. Okay, so now from here, yeah, I think this is a pretty good place for price action to kind of land right before we experience some kind of resistance to pull back and validate your 338 area, right? 338 to roughly around 342. Should it make it all the way to 348? Actually, it would probably be more likely when we reach 358 to around 366, the all-time high, right? So if we do this all-time high, like, you know, and the more right away of things, then your likely drop would be to validate this area here, right? It would still very much be within this 341 to 348 with a liquidity grab into these zones here, 337 to maybe even 333. Okay, guys, so heads up on price action here. I do see this as a high probability play, and yeah. Oh, right, this is the 5-day bull flag, guys. Check this out. So very similar to the bull flag that we're observing right over here on a 3-hour time frame, right? Just like this here. Take a look at it, right? This, and building another couple candles here for that upside. Take a look at this chart here. This is pretty much what I expect to look like. So the top side formation here is leading towards a 495, okay, guys? And of course, this is the inverse head and shoulders here from a perspective of a 5-day time frame. And yeah, we're leading to some massive upside targets there, guys, that are still very confluent to some of these that we talked about from this formation here. I like it very, 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 very much. And I gotta say, let's see if we have algorithmic buy signals here. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we do have an algorithmic buy signal. This is our alpha LITE. This is what I developed here for the team. So it looks like we are getting a sell signal here, of course, but now we're turning green. Okay, so if we are turning green here, that means that this sell signal may be invalidated soon enough. But we're gonna go ahead and find out here, guys, because I mean, this 30-minute time frame is closing here in 9 minutes and it's still pivoted towards the upside, which means that maybe this is continuing towards an upside, right? Your hourly time frame also closing in and just those 9 minutes too. It's closing green, the bar, and it's already kind of turning here, right? So yeah, this may be a resistance area, but still upside continuation into the 2-hour time frame, 3-hour, still wow, into the 4 and the 6. Geez, 12-hour time frame, daily upside. My goodness, it's okay. So it would be roughly 2 days of upside, and this 2-day just opened. So this was your 2-day time frame, 50% prior bar pullback, right? And that's exactly what's happening. This is your prior bar, right? 50% retrace, continuation to the upside from the opening of that bar, which is oh man, we're gonna add it here, right? So let's go ahead and add data cells advance. Oh right, this is the new data cells advance, guys. Sorry about that. This is a very, very capable new display, right? So this displays the actual targets for you on pane, and you can decide what you want on it too. So I actually have it on sale for like around $30, I think, right now, guys. So look in the description below; it's all yours, and you can position it every which way you want. You can display whatever targets this thing is displaying. You could change the colors. You could whatever you want. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyway, the current ATR top on this bi-daily time frame would be roughly 351. Nice. So the opening is right here, 326. So this is saying that it would travel to around that 351 target, from which we already kind of have some upsides into those targets, right? So yeah, right about there. So this is your 348, and we're talking about a 351. Very interesting times, right, guys? Yeah, I do think that it's looking pretty damn good for the entire crypto market, and also know, yeah, even Ethereum, guys, making the move that we were already expecting, right, a few days ago. I'm sorry, we've been observing this for a while. But yeah, we were talking about resistance first here. As soon as we break above that 43.98, then likely the resistance areas of about $5,000 to the prior all-time high of around 48.65 were likely. So we're looking still very good, guys, and this, you know, Ethereum could actually be worth, you know, somewhere around that $13,000 zone eventually, right, guys? But this is a very, very, very bullish breakout on this thing, and likely for it to continue. We probably will experience some massive pullbacks as soon as it does reach that 5,000, but it's all good. All right, team, hit those ATWs in the chat below. I love you guys so much. I really appreciate you continuing to support the team. And yeah, but for now, we shall speak very, very scary Jerry later soon. All right, team, adios and adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as it cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night and or day. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.